Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investors Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the Power of One with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and joining me today is the brilliant Dr. Debbie Anderson, bringing her insight, expertise, and that calm, no-nonsense perspective we all rely on. Omri is not here today, but we'll make sure the show is just as lively and packed with just as much value. All right, today we're diving into stock options, real estate, wealth building techniques, including some of my recent market wins that you won't want to miss. We'll also cover the latest news, economic trends, political updates, showing you how it all impacts your financial future. And as always, we're broadcasting live from the Investor Schooling headquarters, your go-to hub for learning how to invest, grow your wealth, and take control of your financial life. Don't forget to RSVP for a free class this Thursday night at investorschooling.com. It's the perfect chance to start learning actionable strategies for your success. And we want to hear from you. Hey, Sean, play that button.
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. Call us at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. I won't stop. That's 855-939-1137.
All right, and you can ask questions about just about anything by using that number, right? So grab your coffee, get comfortable. If you're driving, you can still grab your coffee, right?
I guess so. As
Yeah,
long as
so
you don't
grab your
spill it on your
coffee.
lap,
Yeah,
you should
there
be
you
good to go, right?
So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and get ready for another packed episode, jam-packed episode.
This is what happens when you don't proofread this crap.
You know what's really happening? You know what's happening? I changed my glasses, right?
Okay.
And I'm used to a certain spot in my glasses because I have the I guess the transitions they call it, right?
Yeah, I have them too,
Right,
actually.
and-
I'm just as old as you are, apparently.
Right. So what's happening now is I got bigger glasses.
Okay.
Right. So they're bigger frames, and the bigger frames, the sweet spot
It's different.
used to be where I read this thing is in a
Alright.
different place.
Okay.
So I'm really having trouble reading it. You know, I have to move my head up and down in order to read it.
You know, I noticed that, so I have it so I can read close, but I read so much better when I just take off my glasses, so I need to stop doing that. Like, I take off my glasses to read, even though they're in my glasses, but I still read better without them.
Well, I can't read the screen without them. But it's just I got to find the sweet spot because if I move up here, it's like everything is blurry and I can't see commas and I can't see certain things. But I have an idea where it's going, and then I have trouble reading it. So that's basically what it is. That's why I'm having so much trouble. So anyway, grab your coffee. Get
You're just looking
comfortable.
at me up and down, the whole
Right, I got to go
There
up
you
and
go.
down, up and
Up
down.
and down,
Right,
up
I got to
and
move
down.
my head up and down, up and down. Wait. Are we still talking about? Omri would have been so happy to hear that part of the conversation. He would have been excited. He would have been excited to hear that my head was going up and down. Oh my goodness. He would have said, "What? What do you mean? What's going on?"
That's funny.
Oh no, Omri missed a good lead in there.
There you go.
What?
So this is a financial
No,
show.
I'm talking about reading with my transitions.
Takes all the fun out of it. What is that, you playing that?
What? Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay?
You play
Is
whatever
it
you
okay?
like.
Is it okay if I play with my sound effects?
You can play with whatever you
I
want.
got my head going up and down. I'm playing with my sound effects. Man, this is like once again we're off in a different tangent, right? So what's going on, Dr. Deb? What do you got going on this week that was really cool?
So I actually went this morning to try to rent. I have a place in Philly that I am trying to rent out. So I had a showing on Tuesday, and I had a bunch of people confirming to come, and then on my way over there, all of them canceled. So it was because I confirmed.
Really?
Yeah. So because I called.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, it was just annoying. So I drove an hour out of my way to literally turn around and come home, which was really frustrating. And then I did it again for today. So I usually confirm the night before that morning, and then 2 people canceled and 1 showed up. So then I was talking to this one person. I'm like, so how come you're moving? Oh, my landlord sold their house. And I'm like,
I love that. That's the old. That's a red flag.
yeah. I guess I'm just. I mean, because I want to rent this place out, but it's like you're gonna lie to me, right? You just met me, you're already gonna start lying to me already. So I was just kind of put off. But whatever.
Well, I mean, it could be true. It's just a red flag. It doesn't mean that it's not true. Because it's not the. I mean, it's not the first
but when
time
you
I've
get
heard
like
it.
9.9 out of 10 people say, yeah, I'm moving because my landlord, sold the place. It's like I
All right, so
it's hard for me to believe it.
When they say that, first thing is red flag, but it doesn't mean it's not true. And I say, okay, great. When is your landlord selling the place?
Yeah, so apparently they warned them in July. So that's what I mean. Like the dates just didn't match up. So I mean, I don't know, whatever. We'll see what happens. I told them to.
I mean, there's more questions to ask.
No, I know. I have to say I was just kind of put off because and then I was looking at them on PAE docket, which told me that maybe this is not the best.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other issue.
Yeah,
but just don't immediately discard them if their landlord's selling the place.
No, I know. And I do. I ask other questions, but it was just But like I said, they both had stuff on PAE docket that wasn't great, and then there was this other person who was interested in applying, and she had all kinds of forgeries and stuff on her record.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, come on.
Really? Yeah, that's kind of like, I'm not going to go with that.
Yeah,
no
it
doubt.
was just kind of like, all right. So
I get it.
I'm still trying to rent that place, and then I have one coming open tomorrow, and then I still have one of my properties in Monroe that are open now that I'm trying to rent out. So I'm struggling with the whole rental thing. It's very frustrating.
So it's interesting. They say that people who start buying single-family rentals, which I have a lot of single-family rentals, they say that eventually they hit a wall, and they start to sell them off, and they either invest in multifamily or they become money lenders.
No, I know that's what you're doing. You're kind of moving in that direction.
Well, I don't know if I'm becoming a money lender.
But you're getting tired of having single-family rentals.
I am. I'm getting tired of single-family rentals, and it's weird. I can't explain. It's not. I don't care. I mean, I love tenants. I just don't want to work that hard. And it's not that hard to work. I mean, I put somebody in there, and a year or 2, 3 years later, they move out, and I got to do it again. But it's the stuff you have to do in between, like in between tenants. And again, I've been doing this for 43 years.
Yeah.
So it's just becoming to the point where, like, you know what? I want a more simpler life. Now, when I say that, my life is so complicated because I've made it complicated. I like my life complicated. I always tell people that I work 80 hours a week at Investor Schooling to teach people how not to work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
But I do it because I want to do it. So now when I have a rental go empty, I'm like, you know what? I just don't feel like advertising this rental. I just don't feel like screening the tenants. I just don't feel like going there and meeting them. And that's just so weird because it's not that hard. It's very easy.
I think that's the only thing about my rentals that I should have thought more about is that because some of my rentals are a little bit farther away, and it's just like right. I don't want to.
I talked to you about that when you're buying them.
No, I know. But even the one that's in Philly, like what's interesting is I used to drive an hour or sometime, and one job I drove an hour and a half to get to work every day. And another job I drove an hour. And then ever since I started freelancing and working for myself, I literally used to walk from my bedroom 5 steps over to my office. And I didn't even have to get in the car.
Yeah, sure.
So now when I'm in the car for 20 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to take me forever to get there. So now we're talking an hour or two. It's like, I don't want to drive, So, and I think that's part of it. Like if I was still working for another company and driving an hour to work, a 2-hour drive wouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean,
yeah, I get it. And, it's funny because I did the same thing. I used to drive an hour and a half to 2 hours a long time ago. And I loved my job. It was great. I had a great job. And, but I'd come home like 6 or 7 o'clock. I'd leave a little early, come up 7 o'clock, and sometimes 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
If there was weather, it would sometimes be later than that.
Yeah.
And I really didn't care. It's the same thing even now with the rentals. I don't care about driving to the rentals. I just don't feel like doing it anymore. It's like, it's nothing negative. There's nothing negative about screening tenants. There's nothing negative about putting them out. I just don't feel like doing it anymore. So 2 of my properties came up. One of them came up that said that, the people moved out, and this was a property that I bought about 5 years ago. I took over the person's mortgage, and since then I refinanced it anyway. But when I bought this property, I mean, it was in, like, I don't know if I want to use the word bad well, okay, yeah, probably bad shape, right?
Okay.
And the people were living in it. And, they paid me a nice rent. It was a nice property. It was a huge house, a 3,500 square foot house in Drexel Hill. And when I first bought it, when I walked through, I'm like, wow, I can't wait for these tenants to move out so I can renovate this property and make it something really nice, right? So they finally moved out, and I walked through the property and go, I don't feel like doing this. It's so funny how I've changed, in that time. But the property is so gorgeous, so I put it up for sale, and I put it up at a price that I really thought it was worth, and sure enough, I mean, within 3 days, I got my asking price, and I'm closing on it next week. In fact, you want to talk about fast. From the time the person moved out, I announced it in class. I let people know that it was available before I even put it up on the market. I had some, they left furniture and they left stuff, tenants think that, hey, if I leave furniture, that's okay, right? Like, no, but okay. So they left their furniture, left stuff. I had somebody come in and clean it out. I paid a couple of grand to have them clean it out.
That's something else that really frustrates me is like when they leave stuff and then you have to pay, you have to pay for a cleaning and then you have to pay for whatever crap that they leave. And, for me, like it's frustrating.
To me, it's rude.
Yeah, it's like you should.
Like how rude can you be? I told you to leave the place the way it was when you moved in. When you moved in, your table wasn't there. Why are you leaving it?
Yeah.
But okay, whatever. So I took all that stuff out. Had that done. Announced it in class. Let a couple of people and students know that it was available before I even put it up on the market. And so so then I put it up on the MLS. And I got 3 showings, and the third one, the guy's like, "I'll take it full price, done." And then in all that time, I'm closing next Friday. So this was July 31st. They moved out.
Okay.
I went from cleaning it, showing it to some people privately, listing it on the MLS, and finding a deal and having somebody buy it and closing on it within 1 month.
So I think, because you were saying too, because I know that you're looking to buy like another home to live in.
Yeah.
And it seems like you were saying how the houses that you are interested in, they're selling faster than you're able to put an offer on. So maybe that's the issue, is that people are buying and not renting. Is that like, because you notice how like sometimes when the housing market's like kind of really going quickly, then people really aren't renting right now.
Yeah, they're renting because they have to, because they can't find a house. So what you're talking about, so Linda and I have been looking for houses pretty much this week. I looked at a couple of things last week, but pretty much this week we got serious. We started looking at houses. And it's funny because I'm looking at $1.5 million houses, $2 million houses, and they're garbage. Yeah,
but tell me again why, because granted I've never been inside your house. I went to your house and it was outside of it. And it was a nice little house,
So here's the thing. My house is fine. Right, it's a nice house. I honestly, I don't care. I could live there forever if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that I want to do now. I want to, and the size of the house that we have right now is the perfect size, and maybe a little bit bigger, not much. But the house we're looking at now, they're like 5,000, 6,000 square feet, and it's just the two of us and a dog.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's two of you. You're looking at 5-bedroom houses, and you're only going to use one, maybe 2 for an office.
But it's funny. We're not looking at the 5-bedroom house. We're looking at the land. We're looking at where to get a pool. If it has a hot tub, that's a plus, right? So that's what we want, and we want something that has big windows on the in the living room, where you look out and you see trees, that's what we're looking for.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that comes with a 5-bedroom house.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we're paying for a view we want to have. We're paying for a lifestyle we want to live, but the house itself they're all going to just be too big, and we already know that.
Okay.
So it'd be nice if we have some like relatives coming in, they'll have a nice bedroom, they'll have their own bathroom, we don't have to bother with them at all. So that's nice too. But still, you're right. It's going to be too big of a house. We have to furnish rooms that we're never going to see. You know what I mean?
I remember when the girls were younger. We went over to one of their friends' houses, and we thought that they just moved into the area. So they had, I don't even remember where it was. It was a 3-car garage, and the house was huge. It was huge. And out of all the rooms that they had, it was clearly at least 5,000 or 6,000 square feet. This place was massive. It had at least an acre of land around it.
Right.
And I think they only furnished like 3 or 4 rooms at most, and the rest of them were empty.
Yeah.
We're like, did you guys just move in? No, we've been here a couple years. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So it's just as weird because then you're walking into empty rooms. I don't know. It was just, I just remember that it was neat. I was jealous because I had a 3-car garage and I only had a 2-car garage. I need a 2-car garage.
If I could find an 8-car garage, with a house attached to it, I'd buy that. You know, if I can find an 8-car garage or 12-car garage or something, you know, with a huge garage space that I could put my cars in, that would be great too. But you know, you got to. I don't know what to do. Yeah. So we're kind of stuck between here. We're stuck between there. We got to buy this bigger house, and then every time we look at a house, you know, I'm telling you, between the $1.5 and $2 million price range, you look. Don't get me wrong, they're nice houses, but they're just junk. Like the layouts are junk. You know, it's funny because the ones that sell in 5 minutes, those I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. But the ones that are on the market for 90 days or 120 days or, you know, six months, those are just garbage, and they just look like garbage. And obviously, these people need to lower their prices dramatically. But so now we just upped our price. Now we're looking at $2 to $2.5 million.
Are you really?
Yeah, because I don't know what else to do. I want to find something that fits the bill.
Okay.
You know, it'll be a nice change.
You can always build it. You know,
I thought about that too. It's
build
a
10-car. Well, yeah, but you could always build like a 10-car garage if you find the house. You could build a garage.
Yeah, but I also thought about building a house.
Yeah.
Where, you know, maybe we buy a piece of land and build a house, but you know, it's like it's work.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not move-in ready. I mean, it's going to take you a year to build.
I don't care. I can stay in my house for another year while I build a house. That might be fun, actually. But now I have to find a place that I want to get an acre or so of land, or 2 acres of land, or whatever, in Bucks County, which is not easy to do.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's easier than I think. I don't know. I mean, there's a house that we saw that actually Omri and I saw when he was looking for a house, that if I knocked the house down, you know, the land is nice.
I think I was there with you for that one.
I think if I knocked the house down, it would be nice.
Yeah,
so knock the house down, build a beautiful house there.
Yeah.
But I still got to pay like $700,000 for the house and the land, because the people that are selling it don't understand that their house is just garbage, and I'm not buying it for the house, I'm buying it for the land.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend $700,000 on the land to build $1 million house on top of that. I'd rather spend $300,000 or $400,000 on the land, which is what it's worth. So I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place. You know, I don't have to make a decision today, but we're going to see 2 houses that we fell in love with on the internet. You know, like on the MLS. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. Don't know, but you know, just to for you guys listening, like, hey, you know, like all of a sudden I'm looking at, you know, $1, $2 million, $3 million houses. Please understand that, you know, in 2018 I lost everything. Right? I went bankrupt. So if you ever read my book, you know that I went bankrupt. And here's the thing about that. And here's the thing about how life changes if you intend to change it. Like, I mean, I've been saying for years that I'm going to be moving up and moving into certain tax brackets. I mean, you know, my goal is to pay how much?
$500,000.
$500,000 in taxes. My goal is to pay $500,000 in taxes a year. Now, most people listen to that and they go, my goal is to pay 0 taxes a year. You want to pay 0 taxes? It's really easy to pay 0 taxes. Just don't make any money, and you'll pay 0 taxes. So I want to pay $500,000 a year because I believe that I'll make a lot of money if I pay $500,000 a year in taxes. And I will, you know, and that will happen to me. I believe it'll actually happen in 2027 is the year that I'll pay $500,000 in taxes. Now, you know, it's not going to be great writing the check, but it's going to be great knowing that I reached a level of income that's so high that I can do that. And there were years that I didn't pay any taxes because I had made so little money, and you know, and had some write-offs in some businesses, etc. But if you really want to change, you know, you come to investor schooling and you learn the things that I've done. I mean, I didn't get a job. You know, as a matter of fact, the job is the worst thing you can do. I learned how to become an entrepreneur. I learned how to buy properties. I learned how to invest in real estate, and I learned how to make money fast. And when I say money fast, I don't necessarily mean like, you know, like if you can't pay your bills next month, you're not going to make money to pay your bills next month. That's because you just were irresponsible and you had spent more money than you have. That doesn't solve that problem. But making money fast could be a year or 2 or 3 years from now. All of a sudden, you're making, you know, maybe $50,000 a year more than you're making because you did certain things. Maybe it's $100,000 more. Maybe whatever it is. I mean, and the other thing too is it's exponential. The cool thing about making money and being an entrepreneur and being a successful entrepreneur is it's exponential. Like the numbers move really fast. You know, maybe you do something, you make an extra $1,000 a month or an extra $2,000 a month. And then the next thing you know, all of a sudden it went from 2,000 to 4,000. It skipped right over 3,000.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right, okay. Then it goes to 10,000. It skips right over 15,000. Goes to 20,000. Right, you know, and that's really where I am right now. It's skipping over a lot of those numbers, and I'm moving into a completely different completely different tax bracket that that I can't even figure out how to lower my tax liability because the numbers are getting very high. And the numbers are getting high for my investments. Not, school's great. We're probably going to make some money this year, which is fantastic. But the school has always been that thing that, I did because I enjoyed it. And I still do enjoy it. And Debbie, I hope you enjoy it too. She's just nodding her head.
Yeah, I like the students. I like the people. I always say, I like the whoosh of energy when you walk in the door because there's a lot of positivity here.
Exactly, right.
And I really enjoy that, and I think it keeps my spirits up when I'm having a weird day. But again, the students are always great. Everybody's always nice and friendly, and I think it's a good atmosphere, and people are. I was talking to somebody about it the other day. There's a lot of camaraderie there. There's a lot of people who are a lot of us are just friends. I've gone out to dinner with a couple of the students because we just hang out and just goof off. And we had our picnic a week or two ago, and that was fun. We were all just hanging out and goofing off. So a lot of us are just friends, which is nice. And you get that at the school, and you don't always necessarily get that, in other places. And everybody's always, rooting for you. They're always hoping that you're doing well. They're always trying to help you if something's going on. Everybody's always trying to, oh, you need this here. I know somebody who can help you with that. I posted yesterday, I need a house cleaner for that place in Philly, and within an hour I had somebody responding to me, and then another hour somebody else responded to me, hey, call this person. They know that you're going to call. Which just is great. So
Excellent.
The electrician. He went to I was away for the week, and he went to my house to fix the electric that was going on in my house. So you just get that at the school where you don't necessarily get that in other places.
Yeah, and then we have the success stories. It's becoming it's really I don't know. I really get humbled when I have students come up to me and they say, "Hey, because of something you told me to do, or something I did, or something you suggested I do, or whatever, I made this much money. I did this happen, that happened," and it's so amazing. We got a couple of people who have a couple of people who are introverts, right? And you know who I'm talking about. They're complete introverts, and they never would have thought that they can make the kind of money they're making right now, and they're blown away by it. They're like, "Wow, this is real," And these are people who never. If they got 4% on their money a year at a bank, they were congratulating themselves. Yeah, now they laugh and they're like, 4%, ha ha! I can make 3, 4, 5% a month on my money because of the things that we're learning here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a group of women who are very, very shy and very much keep to themselves. So I introduced the three of them together, and now they're actually friends, which is fantastic.
Yeah, which is kind of neat too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now they kind of talk together and get over, hey, I did this with this person, I did this with that person, I think you should try this. So it's nice because they're so quiet and they stick to themselves. They are able to. They just connected right away, which is really cool to see that friendship grow, and then they're helping each other to move forward either with covered calls or with this Sultan Fund or buying properties or lending. It's just as cool to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and actually, the Sultan Fund is kicking butt. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, I think you can say that on the air.
I think I can, but anyway. But the Sultan Fund, it's on fire. It's amazing how much money people are making with this. Now, you need to understand. Again, this is not a solicitation for the fund. If you're interested in the fund, the projected pay is 3 to 4% a monft on your money. And we just sent checks out. Actually, they just went out on Friday.
Okay.
And some of the people, because they're automatic, they're the EFTs. ETFs, whatever, I don't know, whatever it is, but whatever that is, what is it when they go transfer right into the account? So they transfer right into the account, and they get their money, and they're calling me or they're sending me text messages. Hey, thanks for the money. One guy today is like, I just got $26,000 appear in my account. Thank you, Larry. And it was it's really great because he invested in the fund. So these are things that are really cool that you can do with us, and we can teach you about the fund. We can teach you how we do it. It's for the fund. If you invest in a fund, you have to be an accredited investor. You have to get a private placement memorandum, which is you get online from us. And if you're interested in the fund, by the way, a lot of people are interested in the fund. We get a lot of phone calls for the fund from the radio show.
And some emails too. Actually, we've gotten a couple emails.
Yeah. Let me do this. If you're interested in a fund, send a text message to the phone number 26786. That's 26786. That's the phone number, and send the word Sultan, SULTAN, to 26786, and you'll get a link that'll take you to the fund page, or you can just go to SultanIF, which stands for SultanIncomeFund.com. You can find out more. You can call me direct, whatever you want to do. I don't really care, but I'll be able to help you with that too. And if you're an accredited investor and you want to invest, the numbers are really nice. And if you want to learn how we're doing it, that's the cool part, is exactly what we're doing in the fund we teach. So it's really funny. It's like, well, can I do it by myself? Of course you can.
Yeah.
And if you're not an accredited investor, you can learn how to do it
Yeah.
by yourself. You could maybe put a couple of 10, 20 grand in an account and learn how to do it and start making money right away. How are you doing with it?
I am pulling out on Wednesday should be in my account. This month I am pulling out $8,133.22.
Yeah, does that help?
Yeah, that's going to help me a little bit. Yeah, that's going to help me pay off a couple things and
Isn't
pay
that amazing,
a couple
right?
lenders and stuff. So I'm excited about that.
It's amazing. I mean, the fund, like I just got to, we've been, one of the things we've been tracking because people wanted to see the proof. And I'm not going to take the Excel spreadsheet out, but I put $50,000 to track it just to show everybody how it works on January 1st. And as of today, I pulled out $37,000. It was overtime, $37,000 over that time, over those months, and I still have $52,000 in the account.
Yeah, I kind of wish you did this like when I wish I learned about it, and I think it was just me because I was always more into real estate than anything. Because I remember when Paul was doing it, but I don't think I struggled with the concept. It took me a while to figure it out. Like I really struggled with the concept, and now I think I get it. But I remember Paul was doing it, and he was always pulling cash out.
Yeah, he was making a lot of money doing it. Yeah, exactly.
And I think
the thing was, I was so busy teaching all the different methods, and this all started. The whole thing, the fund, the proof, everything all started because students didn't believe me.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, guys? Fine. I'm going to show you that it works. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm teaching you. I'm going to do it. Because I've been doing it anyway, but I was doing it with as a mixed strategy and other different strategies. And so I'm going to take one account. I'm going to do covered calls with this one account. And that's all I'm going to do in this account. Yeah. And I showed everybody. And all of a sudden, everybody started doing it. Now everybody's making a lot of money. Yeah. And it's really great. Now we have 3 different programs. One where we teach you how to do it. One where we'll teach you how to do it. And I'll trade in your account for you for free. Which is a kind of cool one. And then we have the other one, which is the fund. You can just put the money in the fund. And any one of them will make you money. I'm telling you now, it'll make you money. Now, are there risks? Yeah, we'll go over the risk, but the risks are very small. I mean, I've been saying that on a scale of 1 to 10, the risk is probably 3-4 on a scale of 1 to 10.
I looked at my account today, actually, and all my stocks were taken. So
yeah, good.
I'm like,
right, isn't that?
Yeah,
that's so it's good
because I'm
and bad.
looking at it, I'm like, where is everything? And I'm like, oh my God, it's all gone. So,
right, it's good and bad. The only thing that's bad about it is you got to buy them back on Tuesday. Now, I noticed, on Friday the market dropped a little bit, and I believe that when we open up on Tuesday, the market's going to be down. I'm hoping. So it's a really weird thing, right? Because everything is out. I'm hoping the market tanks Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Because if the market tanks, then I make more money.
Yeah.
Because we have to buy all our stocks at lower prices, which would be fantastic. Yeah. Now, if the market's up, we have to buy them at higher prices, and it's not that we're going to lose money, but our account balance might go down at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I had a scary thing happen to me last night. It was funny. It was like I just woke up. I had insomnia again, so I go to my computer, and I'm curious to see because I'm waiting for these things to clear, the stocks to clear, and I go to my account, and I noticed that my account was down $465,000.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, what just happened? What did I just miss? First of all, a movement like that, the way we trade, it can't happen, right? You can only have really small movements. So if I'm trading $2.5 million, I mean, maybe the horrible market, maybe $50,000. So I'm like, what just happened? What did I do? Did I do something wrong? And then I realized what happened was the account was clearing.
Okay.
So things were being pulled out, but numbers weren't.
They weren't. Okay,
right.
I got it.
So it was the funniest thing. It was like, and I watched it go like negative 465, then negative 200, then positive 10,000. It was the funniest thing because I did it at right at the market end, right at the clearing end, which was 10 to 3. So 2:50 last night, 2:50 a.m.
Oh, okay.
And the reason it's 2:50 a.m. is because they clear Pacific time.
Oh.
They clear at 12 o'clock Pacific time.
Okay.
So I was freaking out. I'm like, what just happened? And I'm like, did I do something wrong? Did I make a major mistake? And then it dawned on me. I'm like, wait a minute, these are just clearing. And I watched it clear, and it was pretty funny. And also, when you have insomnia and you wake up in the middle of the night, your head's not thinking straight. So I didn't realize what it was right away. But it didn't take me long.
I just bought, it's supposed to come in today. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. I just bought a sunrise clock because I have a hard time, I have a hard time falling asleep and I have a hard time staying asleep. So somebody recommended a sunrise clock to me.
So what is a sunrise clock?
A sunrise clock. I'm so excited. A sunrise clock.
I can't believe how excited you are.
I am. I'm so excited
you're
about this.
clapping, you're jumping up and down.
I am so excited for this thing. So it's this round clock. And it has a glow to it. So you can have a nighttime glow or a daytime glow, whatever. And it also has all these different sounds to help you fall asleep and to help you stay asleep. So I have the one, I don't know, I haven't gotten it yet, but I think the one I bought has 20 sounds or something to it. So I'll play the ocean on it, or you could wake up to birds or something chirping or whatever. And then as it gets lighter in the morning, the glow will get brighter.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that it's almost like you're naturally waking up with the sun. So it kind of retrains your body to wake up that way. And then with, I guess, the white noise.
My dog wakes me up.
Shut up. But with the white noise, it's supposed to help keep you asleep. So I'm really excited about this sunrise clock. So somebody was recommended it to me, and she said it made a real big difference to her. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So it's supposed to come in today. I'm excited about the clock.
Well, that's pretty exciting. With that boring topic, we're going to go to commercial. Okay, Sean, take us to a commercial. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. How many
commercials you guys want me to play?
will you finally go to investorschooling.com?
4, that's cool, but
Up for a class yet?
What did
You're
that
going to learn
one say
real
that
estate
you
investing.
deleted?
You're going to learn stock options
What did
trading.
that one
You're
say
going to
that
learn
you
things
deleted?
about money that you didn't even know
You deleted a
existed.
comment.
Go to
What did it say?
investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investors.
you guys don't play spots going into the next hour. Like, you know how y'all do a break going into the next hour? Do y'all play spots like that, or do y'all go straight into
No, we go
regular
straight in.
spots?
So you guys do whatever you do, the station identification, whatever it is.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to play any of your spots going into.
Yeah, if you want to play my spots instead of your spots, that's fine with me. I don't think that's investorschooling.com.
Oh no, we can't do it like that. But I could probably I just didn't know. Like, let's say you want to get off at 58 and you want to play your last 2 minutes of your spots or something like that.
No. 59, we're off at 59 and a half. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
Here from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that we have a radio show right here on WPHT every Saturday at 1 o'clock? It's called The Larry Steinhouse Show. And you want to listen to this show because it's a live show and you can call in. In fact, here's the call-in number.
855-939-11.
10 seconds.
And when you call in, you can ask us questions about real estate, the stock market, even politics. Make sure you tune in Saturday, 1 o'clock. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
Oh, I'm digging this music. All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm here with the amazing Dr. Deb, and we're just having some fun.
I think everybody's
things.
down the shore and enjoying the holiday.
Yeah, I think so. Nobody's online either. You know, it's funny. I almost thought about doing a repeat today.
I
Because
was.
Omri wasn't here.
Yeah.
I always thought about it. I'm like, you know what? But let's do it. Let's do a live show because there might be people in the car driving.
Yeah.
And they might want to talk to us. How can they talk to us, Sean? Play the Omri phone number.
Hold on, give me a couple seconds. I'm gonna get it set up again.
Oh, come on.
Oh man, even Glenn's not here today. You know.
939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. Call us at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. I won't stop. That's 855-939-1137.
All right, I think he's done. So you know why we recorded Omri doing that phone number, right?
For when he's not here?
No, so we could fire him.
What?
So I could fire him and still use his name and still use his voice.
Oh.
I'm kidding, Dad.
I know.
I'm
It
kidding.
wasn't funny.
I
Like,
know.
sometimes you come up with these jokes that just aren't even funny. Like, a little bit.
Look, and not every joke lands.
Okay, that one
You know?
definitely didn't land.
That's just the way it is. It just
Yeah.
it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You
You
know?
should talk about that interesting interview we had about the sales pen. I think
Oh yeah, so
I
yeah,
think
so
I
we're
should, I think you
so,
should talk about that. I think it
All
was
right.
I think it was really well done.
So investor schooling is expanding, and we need salespeople, and we need I actually need a personal assistant. I need a personal assistant so bad that I'm pulling my hair out of my head. Yes, it's absolutely insane that I need a personal assistant so badly because it's driving me crazy. Like all this little stuff that needs to be done,
Yeah.
and things are falling through the cracks. So that and a salesperson, maybe 2 salespeople, and it was interesting because we had somebody come in for an interview yesterday,
Yeah.
and the guy, at first I'm like, all right, let's see what this guy has to bring.
Yeah.
And
He seemed like a very nice guy. Like
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just-
yeah.
He seemed
Immediately
like a very
he was a
nice guy.
right.
Yeah, very nice
Immediately
guy.
a nice guy. Definitely a talker, which is okay because that's what salespeople do. And as I started to explore his resume and start to explore his past jobs, the guy has a skill.
Yeah.
And he has a skill. He knows how to hold a conversation. He knows how to definitely. I think he could be a really good salesperson. Like because he cares about people. Because that's really important for us. That we have to make sure that we care about people. Because if not, I don't want to do this. I mean, I only do it because I care about people. I don't do it to make sales. I don't do it to make money. If I did it to make money, we would have closed this place a long time ago. Because that's it didn't make money for a long
Didn't
time.
make money for a long time. Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so we have so there's a book, and it's funny because Jordan Belfort wrote this book, and the book is called The Way of the Wolf. It's a sales book. So matter of fact, if anybody's out there who's a salesperson, read this book. It's called The Way of the Wolf. Now, when I read this book, somebody suggested I read this book, and I read this book for the first time, and I realized that I've been selling the way Jordan Belfort sells for 30 years before I read this book, maybe more, maybe 40 years before I read this book. Now, if you don't know who Jordan Belfort is a thief and a liar and pretty much an idiot because he was such a good salesperson that he was selling stocks and annuities and whatever he was doing, and he decided to do something different. And I don't exactly know what happened, but he decided that he wasn't making enough money. Now, the guy was making an incredible amount of money, but he wasn't making enough money, so he decided he wanted to fraud people.
Yeah.
And he got off on frauding them. Now, that's where he goes bad. Now, he's come back. He's been in jail for a while. He came back, and he's like, look, I don't do this anymore. I realize my ways. And fine, whatever, that's fine. But the only reason I bring it up because people who know Jordan Belfort they know that, why would I tell them to read the book by Jordan Belfort? But when I read this book, there's something in there. It's kind of like an old, old cliche of sales, which is sell me this pen. Right, so the first thing people do is they start to sell the pen. They're like, oh, the pen is it's got a clip on it so you can put it in your pocket and blah blah blah, and you push a button and the pen and the ink and the pointer comes out, blah blah. They try to sell all the features of the pen, and the true thing, and I've been teaching this for years as a sales trainer many years ago. I've been teaching, hey, you got to make sure that the person needs what you are selling, or if not, don't even bother selling it to them. And that's talked about in the book. So we asked this salesperson yesterday, we said, hey, sell me the pen. And the funny part was he didn't go into the pen, which is what I expect him to do. He goes, hey, do you like black ink or blue ink better? And I said, black ink. He goes, well, that's good because this pen has black ink. Yeah. So it was kind of like almost there. So it was just a really great.
You know what it was? It was just
know.
I've seen you do that to a lot of people. Sell me this pen. And nobody got, even with Omri. Omri did it once too. He's
right.
just like, I don't get it, And I read the books and I saw the movie, so like I remember it. But it was just so funny because he didn't have any knowledge of that book or who Jordan Belfort was, and he just was reaching back into his experience.
So the guy yesterday, he didn't have any knowledge of like some great salespeople who've written some great sales
That
books,
was interesting too because he didn't know anything about
right.
Brian
He didn't
Tracy.
know Brian Tracy, right?
Yeah.
But it was okay because he knew he had a skill.
He had a skill.
And I got to tell you, I hope he's not listening, but I got to tell you something. The guy, his entire life, never made enough money to equal the skill I think he has. I think that he actually limited himself. Now, if he's listening, that means he's going to ask me for more money if we decide to hire him. But I got to tell you, I think he limited himself because he didn't know that he could make a lot more money than he was making. But that's fine. Well, and we're interviewing some other people, so if you are listening, I'll let you know. But we're interviewing some other people. But it's just really neat to know that there are some good people out there that can do things that I thought nobody can do.
Yeah. And the other thing that was very interesting because you had posted something up on Indeed, right? Because we were looking for a personal assistant, we were looking for a salesperson, and inside 48 hours, you got 150 some resumes, and like most of them are just like
total
terrible.
Garbage.
I'm one's a bartender.
I want to be your personal assistant. So, and I'm a massage therapist. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think you understood what I meant by personal assistant.
Yeah, drive for Amazon. Like just the weirdest jobs. It's just like,
Yeah, they don't understand like a personal assistant. We're not talking about a receptionist answering phones. I'm talking about a personal assistant, like someone who eventually is reading my mind at what I need done and is doing it before I even get it done, But
I was really amazed at how, because we were looking through some of them yesterday, and in the time we looked for like an hour, we had another like 30 or 40 applicants. And I'm like, what on earth is this? So I didn't realize that it was so crazy that way. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and people have to understand it. If you really want this job and your skills don't match, it doesn't mean you shouldn't apply, but don't apply by just sending your resume. Yeah. That's the problem with the job boards is they just click and upload their resume and hope that somebody says, okay, I'll interview you, and then hope they get the job. It's not going to happen. Yeah. You really want this job, you have to call. You need to say, okay, I'm going to find out who this guy Larry Steinhouse is. I'm going to call him. I'm going to say, listen, I'm going to tell you, I don't have the skills for this job, but I'm going to tell you why I think you should hire me.
So, it's interesting you say that because I'm seeing that with the rentals, though, too, is that, like, people, like, today, they don't like to talk on the phone.
No, nobody wants to talk on the phone.
Nobody wants to talk on the phone.
It's the strangest thing.
Yeah, so, so you're saying, you should call and see what's going on, but I'm telling you that people, like, this generation doesn't like to call and talk on the phone.
I don't get it.
They'd rather text, and, because I'm always like, oh, you want to see this place? Yeah, yeah, it's available, give me a call. And I did that 25 times per property, and nobody called.
And they're not calling anymore.
Yeah, and it just was weird.
It's so strange.
Yeah, so
now you got to answer at least 4 or 5 questions online before they get them to call us. That's what I'm finding. Well, I used to say, I used to just respond, call me.
Yeah.
And now all right, I'll answer a couple of questions because most of the questions will eliminate the self-eliminating questions anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite question is, what's required to move in?
Yeah.
I used to joke and I said the ability to pay the rent. Right? Like, that's what's required. But then like, no. What do you like? Do I need, how many months security do I need? Whatever, And I'm like, it's like, it's a conversation I'd rather have on the phone, but if fine, then I'll explain what it is. And I was like, okay, I can't afford that, and they move on. So that's fine. So that might eliminate some time for both of us.
I got one yesterday, which I thought was interesting. She's like, what are the limitations to moving in? And I'm like, and I wrote back, I said, I don't understand your question. And I said, previous evictions is, I'm not interested, and she's like, oh, well, I had a previous eviction and my lawyer told me I should get a private landlord. And I'm thinking, yeah, this isn't going to work out for me at all.
Yeah, you should get a private landlord. You should get somebody who's dumb, young, and never did this before.
I know, but why would you say, it was just a weird conversation. Right. It was on text because I was trying to get her to call me, but it was just a weird conversation.
Because now, I went to this 200, 300 unit apartment building, and they had a management company, and they evicted me. But maybe a private landlord won't evict me as fast as they will.
It was interesting because I told you I was showing that place this morning, and I asked for their name, and I was looking them up on PAE dockets, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just looking to see if there's you've had any problems or anything in the past. And they're like, oh, well, I did have an eviction the one time, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then I saw all their, I told you the one lady had all kinds of forgeries and stuff, and then somebody else had it was a lot of car things, like her car wasn't inspected, or just like stuff like that.
That's not somebody you want to rent to.
Yeah, so it was just like,
and these people don't understand. They're like, how come nobody wants to rent to me? Well, because you have a history of not paying rent, you have a history of criminal behavior, and you have a history of not being responsible. And I just don't want to take that on. Maybe you'll find somebody who doesn't care or doesn't know how to do it, but it's not for me. I want people who are responsible. I want people who will pay their rent.
Is there a time limit? Like, so and the reason I ask is I remember like some of the ones that I was looking at today. Like I don't think she was a good candidate, but like I know in the past I've seen them where they were 5+ years old. You know what I mean? Like 5 years old or 7 years old, or some of these
eviction.
Not the eviction, but like some of these criminal cases or something.
Look, I talk to people. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, look if they got evicted last week, I'm not taking them.
No, I get that. I
right?
get
if
that.
they got evicted 5 or 6 years ago and they're showing a history of paying their rent on time since then, yeah, I'll certainly have the conversation, and we'll see. You know, I don't eliminate people. Look, sometimes bad things happen to good people, and you need to have that conversation. That's all, and you have to make a decision. You know, if somebody has a 580 credit score, I'm going to ask them for additional security. But if their story is sound, I'm okay with it. And sometimes the story is, a lot of times, you ever get you ask the question, hey, when do you want to move in? Can I move in tomorrow?
Yeah.
And that's a red flag.
Yeah.
But there are certain times it's not a red flag. And you know what that is? When there's a woman who wants to leave her husband, and she can't take it anymore, and maybe there's abuse, some kind of abuse, or I just doesn't want to be in that situation anymore, and I really need to move out quick, and then all right, that to me makes sense. And a lot of times, people in that situation, their credit score has now been damaged because they've been fighting with their spouse for a while, and now it becomes a problem. Nobody pays the rent, nobody pays the mortgage. I'm going to ruin your life because you're ruining my life while I ruin my life at the same time. So things happen, and you talk to them for a while, and if it's normal or it makes sense, I don't have a problem writing to them.
I did have one. It was a couple years ago, and the guy he was living in a hotel because he separated from his wife, and it sounded like he was the one who was getting abused.
Yeah, it happens.
And it was pretty interesting. And I'm like, fill out the application and whatever, we'll go from there. And it was a Zillow application. It wasn't the in-person. Like, we were just chatting first.
Yeah, sure.
And he sent me his tax returns. He sent me proof of payments. He sent me bank statements. And he was a diabetic, so he was always eating crappy food because he couldn't cook. And so it was just interesting because I'm thinking I have never met anyone who was trying so hard to get out of a hotel because nobody would take him because he was living in a hotel, and he had
it's tough.
You know what I mean? Like he had I saw all that stuff on his record, but you could see that it was false accusations.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I ended up taking him, and he was a great tenant. I had him for 2 years, and he was great.
Yeah,
so.
and that's what happened. Remember when we had a while back? It was about 2 years ago, I think. We had my property manager up in Lehigh Valley. Yeah. And we had the audience vote on whether we should take this tenant or not.
Oh yeah, whatever happened to her?
They've been paying on time.
Okay.
I think they were late a couple of times, but it was not, nothing serious.
Yeah.
But it was a great, same thing. There was a story behind it. They had an eviction, just another thing, and my property manager was convincing me that he spoke to them, and he believed that they were good people. So we actually asked the listening audience, whether I should take them as a tenant or not. And the listening audience, most people said yes. And I said, all right, Jason. Tell the tenant exactly what we did. Yeah. We asked the listening audience to see if we should take the tenant, and they better not screw it up.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they have not. So it's actually turned out to be pretty good.
So I remember you were saying to never lease back a property. When you buy a property, never lease it back to the owner, to that person.
That you. Oh boy.
So I know that you're coming up to that. So what's going to happen with that?
I don't know. So this is a woman who, I bought the property to save her from having to move out.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of pieces to this. You know who it is.
I know who it is.
Which is why it's difficult for me to even have this conversation.
But I'm wondering what you're going to do.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay. What are you leaning toward, or what are the options, or what are you leaning towards doing?
Okay. I think one of my options is to see if she could pay anything.
Oh, she can't pay anything at all?
If she could pay, she had, for 2 years. The thing was, I bought the house, and she was supposed to be, getting another job, blah 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 blah. I bought the house at a lower price.
Okay.
So that I could use the difference that I bought the house for her to rent it or to pay rent in advance, sort of. You know what I mean?
All right, got it.
So she had 2 years of rent free, and then at the end of the second year, she's supposed to make payments, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not sure if she could afford the payment.
Okay.
And it's troubling me because I don't know what to do. I mean, the woman's a really nice woman, a little older, and she, she's had. I don't want to get into it because I don't know who's listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have to figure out how I'm going to solve this problem, because it's troubling me that I did exactly what I said I would never do.
Yeah.
And now I'm not in a position where I'm more in a position where my heart hurts. Because she's just a wonderful person.
Yeah. And
my heart hurts to know that I might have to do something, and I just don't want to.
Yeah.
So I have to figure out how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
So, but we still got some time. We still got at least 5 months before she has to pay rent.
Okay.
So lots of things can change, but it's just, again, and this is why you don't do it, because you can't, and in this case, it's my heart that hurts.
Are you gonna remind her like that the time frame is coming up?
We've had a conversation about it.
You've had it, okay.
Yeah. But again, it's like I
don't know. That's why
don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Because it's
Yeah.
she might even be listening. You know what I mean? So I just don't want to get into it right now.
Okay.
'Cause it's a tough one.
Yeah.
But in this case, my heart hurts. To think about that, I might have to do something. But some cases there could be legal issues with you renting back to the person who you bought the house from.
Okay.
They can go to court and they can say, he promised me he was going to sell the house back to me, and you never did. But they say that so that now they come up with some legal issue. He's evicting me because I'm not paying the rent. This is my home. I've been here for 30 years. You know what I mean? And it can become a problem. So that's why I really highly recommend you don't do it.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was a situation where the woman who I felt sorry for, I felt bad for her, and I wanted to see if I could help her. And technically I did, because even if I decided to have to evict her, she at least got to stay in the house another 2 years for free,
Yeah.
But I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't believe you brought that up. Now you make me feel bad.
That wasn't my goal, But I know that there's a student who's
Glenn
doing
writes. Glenn's listening. He writes what heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's one of our students. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows I have a really good heart, but I'm also firm.
Yeah. But because there's a student who did the same thing. Remember, he was buying a house from somebody and he's renting it back to them.
Which is a mistake. But
Yeah.
the way he's doing it locks up their money, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing it a different way, because we had this whole conversation. All the money they're supposed to get at closing, they're not getting until they move out.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a set date that they're going to move out, so it's a little bit different.
Okay.
It's not where this woman wants to live there until she dies, and I don't know if that can happen, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm in a tough spot, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll lower the rent, whatever. I have some expenses on the house. If I can get her to cover them, that probably would be enough for me. But it's not it's not zero. Even in the last 2 years, I've been paying the water bill and not the water bill, the taxes and insurance.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. It is what it is.
All right.
So we got about 5 more minutes of this show, and then we're going to go into the second show after that. What do you want? How do you want to end this show?
How do we want to end the show? I don't know. Do you want to talk about some of the
events we got coming up?
Some of the events we have coming up.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a great idea. So one of the things we have coming up, we have the Money Hacks event. And this is a great event. This is an event we do about 3 times a year. It's a full-day event in our office, and we bring in some amazing speakers. By the way, I locked down 2 speakers today.
Oh, okay.
And one of them is phenomenal. I locked down Walter.
Oh, did you?
Walter Amarillo, yeah.
Is he coming in person?
He's going to come in person, yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
great.
So I locked him down. Great speaker. We got incredible speakers coming in. I mean, if you really want to see how millionaires become millionaires, or how millionaires become multimillionaires, like these guys, this is an event you want to go to. And they're going to come up. They're going to talk to you. They're going to tell you things that they've done, how they've done it, and we're even going to buy you lunch. Here's the deal: go to 4mmw.com. The number 4mmw.com, and the tickets are $147 each. And if you want to, you can use the coupon code FIDDY, FIDDY, for half price. So FIDDY, that's because my web designer thinks he's cute by saying 50% off, Yeah. 50% off. So FIDDY, and you get a ticket for half price. So I suggest you get a ticket right now. You know what else? Also, if you want a digital copy of my book, Money Hacks, you can send a text message to 26786. That's 26786. Send the word HACKS, HACKS, and you can have a digital copy of my book. And then also the fund, if you're interested in the fund, I'm telling you, the fund is great. We're paying 3 to 4% a month on people's money as income. So do the math. If you have $100,000 and you put it in the fund, it's between $3,000 and $4,000 a month that you are expected to get. You know, of course, there's some risk. We'll explain that to you, but it's not very risky. I know, in my opinion, it's not very risky at all. But it's an incredible fund, so you could actually make some nice money on that. It's an income fund, but of course that's for accredited investors only, and you have to it's by PPM or personal placement memorandum only, so you have to read it, decide you want to do it, understand the risks, and if you have any questions, that's okay. But you have to be an accredited investor. What's an accredited investor, Deb?
You have to make what was it between you and your husband at least $300,000.
So it's $200,000 if you're single. $300,000 if you're married, or you have $1 million net worth. $1 million net worth, not including your house.
And or if you're SEC certified,
if you're registered with the SEC as a registered rep, which is the funniest thing. It's funny. Like these people could have no money at all, but they're allowed to invest, which is bizarre. But okay. I don't know why they become an accredited investor.
You know, it was funny because my brother, he plays the stock market, and he has for as long as I can remember. And when we were down south together, you know, we started talking about covered calls, and I know that he plays, like I said, on the stock market, and we were chatting. And the other day, him and I were going back and forth on text. He's like, "Well, how do you pick your stocks?" And I'm like, "Well, I only look at 6." I said, I only look at 6, and I maybe only play 4 or 5, maybe 6 max, because otherwise I'm just all over the place and it's too very. He's like, well, I'm always looking at this one and this one and this one. And he's like, it is kind of hard to look at all these different stocks. And I'm like,
he needs to go to investor schooling.
I know, but he's not gonna. He
needs to, because it would change the way he's doing it.
You know what? I hear you. Yeah. And he's just,
You should tell him to make an appointment with me and talk to me.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I want to thank all the listeners. You guys are awesome as always. Thank you for listening. We hoping you're enjoying a great Labor Day weekend. I want to thank Dr. Deb for coming in today, even though Omri decided that he was going to take a vacation with his family, and he didn't come in. I guess he deserves it, right? He just moved too. We'll have to talk about that next week when he comes in. Yeah. And I want to thank I want to thank Sean, of course, for being our producer today, for substituting for Glenn, because Glenn's also doing something today. All right, everybody, thank you so much. You go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and you can take a free class there. We will see you on Thursday.
This program is paid for by Investors Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investors Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the Power of One with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Stop buying gold online. Edelman's Coins is the Philadelphia area's largest buyer and seller of gold and silver bullion. Family owned for 99 years, Edelman's Coins has continued to provide ultra-competitive pricing paired with unparalleled customer service. With transparent buy-sell spreads, you know you will always get a fair deal. When buying or selling bullion or coins, think Edelman's Coins. Call 215-572-6480 or visit edelmanscoins.com.
Tune in tonight starting at 7 p.m. for the Bob Pantano Saturday Night Dance Party. Live from Adelphia in Deptford, the Bob Pantano Saturday Night Dance Party is broadcast exclusively on 98.1 HD2 and Bob Pantano Dance Party Radio on the Odyssey app. Powered by Bagliani's Market in Hamilton.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Hey, it's Nick. Join me on the first Wednesday morning of every month for 1210 WPHT's Veteran Spotlight, a program where we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. This week, we are honoring Josh Jabin, United States Marine Corps vet, and his contribution to the veteran community. Presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
All right.
Paid for by Investors Schooling. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investors Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and joining me today is the brilliant Dr. Deb Anderson, bringing her insight, expertise, and that calm, no nonsense. See, I'm telling you, I can't read with these glasses.
So, is this the same intro as
It's the
before?
same intro.
Oh, I thought you were. I
forgot to do a new one. But it's okay. It's no nonsense. Debbie's no not Deb. Anyway.
Do you want me to try reading that for you?
What?
Do you want me to try reading that for you?
You can't.
Okay.
I have to bring the computer over there, and that would break everything. Today, we're diving into stock options, real estate, wealth building strategies, including some of my recent market wins that you don't want to miss. We'll also cover the latest news, economic trends, and political updates, showing you how it all impacts your financial future. And as always, we're broadcasting live from the Investor Schooling headquarters, your go-to hub for learning how to invest, grow your wealth, and take control of your financial life. Don't forget to RSVP for our free class this Thursday night at investorschooling.com. It's a perfect chance to start learning actionable strategies for your success. Hey, we want to hear from you. Listen, I'm going to have to give the phone number because the last time Omri gave the phone number, nobody called. So if you want to call in and ask us any questions about anything at all, 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. And you can ask us questions about anything at all. You can share your insights or just join us for the conversation. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and get ready for another packed episode. I still think, you know what it is? I'm just looking for the word there. Get ready for another packed episode of the Larry Steinhouse Show.
I know,
Insights, strategies, and few laughs along the way. Wow.
When you say episode, it seems like, because I remember a couple people are like, oh, you have a podcast? I'm like, no, I'm not on a podcast.
I know. We're on the radio.
We're on the radio. Like, people don't believe me when I say that.
Like,
they're like,
what do you mean you're on the radio?
Yeah, everybody's like, what do you mean? And
half of them are going, what's radio? And the other half are going, AM. How do I find that?
Yeah, but everybody, you say the word episode and it's all podcast because there's like a million podcasts out right now.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But nobody believes that when I say that. I'm like, no, I'm on the radio. They're like, oh, you mean a podcast? I'm like, no, I mean the radio. Like
right.
You turn on the radio that on your.
You're finally telling people you're on the radio. You're telling me you wouldn't tell your friends you're on the radio.
That's not what I said. There's a handful of people. So no, hold on. So there's some people that I say I'm on the radio for, but I keep my.
She's embarrassed.
I am not embarrassed. I am not embarrassed.
I'm on the radio 2 hours a week, and I talk about really cool stuff like finances, but I'm too embarrassed to tell my friends I'm a radio host.
I never said that. I just keep some of my lives separate. I keep my married life separate from my investments. I keep some of my other friends, my Jewish life separate from my investment life. And I keep my work life very separate from my investment life because they don't mix. Like they just don't mix.
So how do you have conversations with people if you're not talking about what you're doing?
It depends on what life I'm in, right? So So I belong to American Medical Writers Association. So when I'm with my AMWA people, like the discussion is like, what is the market doing? How are we doing? What's going on with clients? ChatGPT is like ongoing conversation for the last 6 or 7 years. So it's always based on that.
Business, right?
But
if you have a friend and they say, hey, what's going on in my life? Well, hold on, let me see. Am I talking to the friend that's in this group or this
stop.
group or
So
this
there's
group?
no stop. So there's only outside of you and Omri, there's only one friend who is like she's.
You only have one friend besides Omri and I?
Yes, there's only one friend. Shut up. There's only one.
Look, I have more friends than you then, and that's hard to believe because nobody likes me.
Can I finish my conversation, my discussion?
Well, I'm just trying to be the interrupter.
All right. What I'm saying is that most of my girlfriends are not interested in hearing about my real estate stuff.
Well, they don't have to hear about your real estate stuff, but the fact that you're on the radio might make them.
No, because what do we talk about on the radio?
So hey,
finances and real estate.
I'm on the radio. Really, what are you talking about? I talk about finances. Wow, that's pretty awesome. How often can I listen to you?
No, it's just that's not where the conversation goes. You're like, okay, yeah, whatever. All right, have fun with that. You know, I'm just saying that right. It's just not something that they're really interested in. And when I make suggestions,
that's like me going home, and I got into a car accident on the way home, and I go home, and my wife says, "How was your day?" And I go, "Oh, it's fine." Because she wasn't in the car with me when I got into the car accident, so why should I tell her about it?
No, I'm just saying, like, if I make like suggestions to them, they're just like, yeah, but my financial advisor says this, and I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not suggestions. I'm saying you're on the radio.
No, but I'm saying
it's pretty exciting.
Larry, I'm telling you that they don't care.
Okay.
It's just, you know what? They look at me and they are like, oh, she's doing something else right now. You know, like one of my friends, she always says to me, she's like, you're building an empire. Every time I talk to you, you're building an empire.
You are building an empire.
You know, so, and I bought 2 properties this year, like in the last, 2 months or something, 3 months. So it's like, she's like, oh my God, you're building your empire. You know what I mean? But the rest, they don't care about some of this stuff. Like they just like I was telling you that I was talking to my brother back and forth, and I was making some suggestions, and because he does covered calls also. He's like, what are you looking for? I said, I'm looking for, because he sent me some stock, and I looked at it, and I said, the volume is really low. I said, it was I don't know, it was like 600,000. I said, this is kind of low. I would just be aware of this, you know? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, because it's very manipulated, you know? And he's like, yeah, but it has a good dividend. I'm like, yeah, but so what? You know what I mean? So, you know, so that was that. And then there was something else. I said, well, this stock is going between, I think it was like I forget which stock it was, but it was like a 25 or a 50 point difference. And I'm like, this isn't a very good covered call stock. Why would you use this one?
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, you know, because it has that. I'm like, so what? You know, so.
Because I read something in some article somewhere, and what's the second rule? The only rule that we have that's in all caps
is don't listen to people.
Don't listen to people.
But you asked me, you said to me before, you know, I should have my brother talk to you. But you have to understand that I'm the youngest of 4, and he still thinks I'm 5.
Right. Well, when your brother realizes you're making more money than him and doing better than him and more successful at him at the same exact thing that he thinks he's doing, maybe he should listen up.
You know, so it's funny you say that, and I'll tell you why. My aunt lives in Elizabeth, and her and I have had discussions, multiple discussions. I really try to avoid talking to her because I really can't stand talking to her. But when I am kind of forced to have a discussion with her, she'll tell me about, because she rents a place. She lives in a condo, and she has another place that she owns, another condo. And I guess every tenant she gets destroys the place. And I said to her, I'm like, you know, here's some questions you should ask. These are some things you should be doing. And she's like, well, I already did all that. I already did that. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? I'm like, have you tried, you know, and I make suggestions to her, but she just doesn't want to hear me.
No.
You know, so she doesn't want to hear me.
She wants to make sure that she continues to do it wrong.
Yeah. And then, you know, but that's what I mean. Like so my brother, her and the two of them were chatting, and she was complaining about how she wants to sell her condo, but she needs to find a place to live, but she can't afford a place, and she's not sure what she's going to do with her rental. And then my brother says to her, why don't you call Debbie? Because she seems to do a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, right.
You know, and
she has a radio show and she talks about it.
So I don't even know if my brother knows I'm on the radio, to be honest.
Your brother doesn't even know you have a radio show?
No, I don't think I ever told him.
Wait.
My sister knows.
Your brother doesn't know you're on the radio.
I told you they think I'm 5. Like, you missed the point. So you are the oldest, right? Out of your
Yes.
brothers, right? Okay, so.
But I don't think my brother's 5.
I know, but they look at me and they still think I'm 5. Like, my dad, when he lived with me for the short time he was there, he treated me like I was 4.5. You know what I mean? Like, he treated me like I was 4.5. Why are you working at night?
Why?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, they treat me. And when we went to South America, it was just like they still treated me like I was, you know, maybe they treated me like I was 12. I graduated and got a couple years older, you know, but they don't look at me as anybody of
yeah,
any,
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, they just don't look at me that way. So why does it matter? Who cares?
I don't know, but you know, this way, you know, maybe they'll give you some the respect you deserve.
Yeah, they don't. That's not who they are. That's not who my family is.
All right.
You know, that's just not who they are.
You know, your brother finds out you're on the radio, he might be impressed.
He knows I've been working at the school for 4 or 5 years. You know, you would think he would.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't either. Well, whatever. These, these. I'm not sure if it's you or them or both.
I don't know.
All right. So I have some interesting news. So silver broke a record.
Did
Silver popped over 40, closed over 40.
Okay.
40 and a quarter. How exciting is that? Now, I've been telling people to buy silver for 6 years. Buy silver, buy silver, buy silver, buy silver, buy silver. Remember?
Yeah.
And I have a lot of it, and I'm pretty excited that now silver is over 40, close to 40.26. Now, I think that silver by the end of this decade will be at 100.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. Because it will definitely move.
By 2030?
By 2030, it'll be at 100.
Wow. I mean, I did buy some silver for like a year and a half or two, so I do have some silver at home.
So keep it. I buy silver bars sometimes.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So by the way, somebody was sympathizing with you and saying that all parents treat their kids that way.
Yeah, but it's well, my parents are gone now, but like they treated me like I was 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, but my brothers do the same thing.
Right.
So they do that whole like. So I tend to, you know how when you're growing up with your siblings, they do stuff to annoy you and you do stuff to annoy them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So my brother, both of them, they purposely wait until I'm about to take a sip of something. And then right as I'm drinking, they scream real loud in my face. And then, of course, I spit up everywhere. So
you spit up in their face?
No, I
Why not?
Because it just happens so fast. Because it's coming out my nose and coming out my mouth. And it's just, and it's like they just scream really loud. They have always done that. So when we were all together, I just was very aware of my drinking.
You're aware of your drinking, huh?
I was very aware of when I was drinking,
hysterical.
how I was drinking, and making sure I wasn't near them when I was drinking.
Well,
so,
you need to be facing them when they scream so that you can, whatever.
It's just
instant karma.
It is what it is.
So, Joe online says that he started buying silver at 13 because I told him to, and sure enough, he's very happy to own silver right now. Cool. All right. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I was trying to talk about stuff, but you keep shutting me down.
You're not done talking about the stuff you're talking about?
No, I guess so. I don't know.
I mean, if you'd like, you could talk about, anything you want. You could talk about the stuff you talk about with your friends that has nothing to do with investor schooling or finances if you want. I mean, I'll give you the audience to do it.
I don't know. I tried talking to my in-laws about borrowing money from them, and they won't do it either.
Oh no, my parents would never lend me money, even though they watched me pay my brother back, which is hysterical.
Well, no, because my in-laws, and they see me on Facebook, and they see me doing all these things, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're doing this and you're doing that." And then when I said something to them about making a nice return, they're like, "Oh, I don't know, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, whatever."
Well, that's so it's not uncommon that the people who you're closest to will support you the least.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Hey, you know what? I want to go through this Excel spreadsheet about this covered calls that we've been doing.
Okay.
So for you guys who don't know, if you're new to the show or if you're listening for a while and you still want to know proof and etc., so we teach one of the strategies that we teach in investor schooling is a strategy called covered call income, and it's funny because it was interesting. What happened was we had students a while back that didn't believe me. I kept saying this is going to work, this is going to work, this is going to work, but I was combining this strategy with other strategies in the same account. And I said, all right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take one account, and that's all I'm going to do is the covered calls and teach you this strategy. And what I did was I took $50,000 and I put it into account January 1st. The first month as an income, I drew $4,675.10. The next month, I had $48,385 in that account, and I drew an income of $3,908. The next month, I had $47,102. I drew an income of $45.50. Then the account went back up to $50,311. I drew an income of $56.81. Then I had a balance of $53,392. I drew an income of $48.11. Then I had a balance of $55,444. I drew a income of $44.50. Then I had a balance of $54,735. I drew an income of $49.86. Then it was a balance of $50,304. I drew an income of $38.41. And as of today, in that same account is $53,006.12. So I withdrew so far $36,906.38, $36,906.38, which is a profit of 73%, almost 74% so far, and my average balance is still above $50,000. So I'm telling you, this actually works. And we do this. We teach you this. You could come. You could learn it. As a matter of fact, we have 3 different ways you could do it. One is you could actually learn how to do it. The other one is you can learn how to do it while I do it for you. And the other one is we actually have a fund. And, of course, the fund is for accredited investors only. And if you're an accredited investor and you want to put your money in the fund, you could do that. You would get about 3 to 4% of your money out of the fund. So it's a really great way to learn how to do this. And I'll tell you what, if you want to go to investorschooling.com, that's investorschooling.com, you will then learn how to do this, and you'll be able to. It's funny, somebody online is like saying, there's too much work in covered calls. All right, let me tell you how much time I spend on this, Mr. I don't know anything about anything commenting. The amount of time I spend on this per month is 5 minutes a month.
Yeah.
So in 5 minutes, I make $38.41.90 off of $50,000 in 5 minutes. I can't do anything else in the account until the end of the month. So if you think 5 minutes of work is too much, well, I'm really sorry, but you could stay broke if you'd like, or you could come see us and I could teach you how to do 5 minutes of work and learn how to do this. And that's what I do. 5 minutes of work is all it takes me to do that. My only disappointment is that I can't work 10 minutes a month.
I know, right? So I have to say it takes me 10 minutes a month just because I'm a little bit slower at it than you are. That's all. That's the only reason.
Exactly.
But
right?
other than that, it's just like,
Right.
come on.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, the same guy wants to talk about mutual funds and ETFs, which are fine. You can put money in a mutual fund. You'll make your 7 or 8% a year. ETFs, same thing, maybe a little bit more. But, the funds that we have, if you're an accredited investor, the fund that we have, if you put your money into it, you're probably going to get 3 to 4% a month. And again, it's for accredited investors only. You have to be invited by a PPM. And, you can find out more about that if you'd like. This is not a solicitation for the fund. It's just a concept to make you understand that these are things that we can do, things that you can do and make, and you can actually make money doing it. But more importantly, if you want to just learn how to do it, and so obviously the person who says there's too much work in covered calls, you clearly don't know anything about covered calls. You think there's too much work, and you clearly don't know anything about the strategy that I'm teaching.
Yeah.
So you should probably go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and you can learn how to do it. You can take a class online, or you can take a class in person. If you're local, we suggest you do it in person because it's more fun.
So here's a question I have for you, because we were talking in the class the other day. So I have a couple different accounts in Charles Schwab. So I have a HSA in there, and I have my Roth in there, and then I have the money that I'm doing the covered calls with. So I remember you saying something about with the Roth to not do covered calls in your Roth IRA.
Well, it's not that you not to do it. It's just that you won't make the same returns.
You won't make the same returns because you can't margin.
Right.
My question to you is, would it be better to just buy higher dividend paying stocks?
Maybe. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you have a Roth IRA, maybe you use that for regular calls and puts. Just try to build the account.
Yeah, I guess the reason I don't like to do...
Because you can't take the money out anyway. So
Right.
even the whole strategy doesn't work anyway. The whole strategy we have is an income strategy, and that's not that you can't take
do
that
it
as an
with
income
that.
until
Right.
you're old enough.
Right, which is, the only reason I wasn't thinking stock options in that account is because I really like how with covered calls, I kind of set it and forget it.
Right. You can still do it. You're just going to make a low return. That's all. You're going to make 3 to 4%.
Okay.
Which is it's funny because a lot of people come to me like, I could do exactly what you're doing, and I'll make 3 to 4% of my IRA, or I can give you the money to you in my IRA, because you can invest in your IRA. If you have an IRA and you want to put it in a fund, you can invest an IRA in a fund.
Right.
And so they make it 3% by themselves, 3 or 4% by themselves, or they give it to me and they make the same 3 or 4%.
Yeah.
So I do all the work for them. They don't have to do it. They don't have to think about it. They have to worry about it. Like, there's too much work in covered calls. Cut me a break.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing ever.
So because I'm not interested in doing stock options in that account, only because I don't like that I have to kind of watch it a little bit more, even though
Sure.
you get the
sure.
I just feel like I like the idea of covered calls where you set it and forget it and you don't worry about it for a month.
I made 50% on my IRA this year just doing regular stock options.
Okay.
So it's great.
Right, with the thing with cover, you know what it is? There was a year that I didn't do so well on it, and ever since I'm just kind of.
I know that's okay because you were still learning. It's okay. There's a learning curve.
Yeah.
You're gonna make some mistakes. You're gonna click the wrong button, which I've seen that happen too.
Yeah.
Or you're just gonna you're not gonna pay attention to it the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're not going to set your alerts because I tell you to, and everybody forgets.
No, I've set my alerts, but then the alerts. But sometimes it comes up even before the alerts go off.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like
Sure.
I'm not always watching it the way I need to be watching it, which is why I like the covered calls, because you just set it, forget it. You don't do anything for a month.
When you pay attention to your money, it pays dividends. When you don't pay attention to your money, it doesn't.
Okay.
I know that was pretty extreme from where you were, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not really.
I know,
so
it's
much.
extreme.
Yeah. Okay. All right, whatever. You know what? Whatever.
But this week, you know how much money I pulled out of covered calls this week?
How much have you pulled out this week?
About 115 to 120,000.
Did you really?
Yep. And I will do that again next month, and I will do that again next month. I will do that again next month. I will do it again. So it really comes down to whether I think making over $1 million a year is enough, and I don't think it is. I want to make more. You want to know why I want to make more?
Because you want to pay the $500,000 in taxes.
Well, besides that, but you know why I want to make more?
Why?
Because it's fun.
I was thinking about, and I don't know, I've been hemming and hawing. I don't know if I'm back and forth on it. So I have a property that's it's paid off. It's free and clear. Out of all the ones I have, this is the only one that's free and clear. And I'm really wondering if I should consider just putting a mortgage on it it's worth, I don't know, 140 maybe,
right.
And it's like a side of duplex. And I'm really wondering if I should just get a mortgage on it and put in $100,000 into the stock market.
Yes. Okay,
I know,
this is for Debbie. This is not for everybody else listening.
Okay.
Because Debbie can handle the disappointment if things go bad. But I'm telling you right now, absolutely. You first of all, the covered calls are going to pay that mortgage, and then you're going to have about 70% left that you could do anything you want with.
So I've been thinking about it. Like
it's a weird thought, right? Because everybody tells you you should have everything paid off and you should have no debt, and they're all wrong. You want to know how to get rich, really rich?
Leverage
debt.
money, yeah.
Debt.
Money.
Borrow money. No, don't borrow money to buy furniture and cars, because that's not what I'm talking about.
No, I get it, but it's
borrowing money to invest, and in safer investments. They don't necessarily be safe, but safer investments will definitely make you rich.
And you know what? The reason I've been not doing it is because, God forbid something happens, that's my one property that I can use
Who cares?
As a safety net.
If God forbid something happens, you don't care about that property anyway.
I don't. Okay.
Who cares?
All right.
Right. Name a scenario where something happens and everything else is a mess except for that one property. And you would feel safer.
Well, I think about what you say. Like, worst comes to worst, I can always pay the mortgage on my house, and I'll always have a car, and I'll always have somewhere to live. Like, if I give up my properties, I give up my properties, and I still have a place to live.
Who cares? Exactly. Right. I mean, it's a weird thing that we teach. It's a worst case scenario theory.
No, I know, but it's just sometimes it helps put things into perspective.
Yeah, I mean, because we're looking for a new house, and the house we're in right now. It's funny. I'm like, should I rent it or should I keep it? Should I rent it or should I keep it? We owe almost nothing on it. We have a small home equity loan on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, should I rent it? Should I keep it? Can I use it as a down payment for the other house? Lower my payment? I don't know what I want to do. And then, then I found out that I can get $4,500 to $5,000 a month rent for it.
You're kidding.
Because somebody down the block just got $5,000.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, if they got $5,000 for it, maybe I'll keep it.
You should rent it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I could use that money to pay the mortgage on the other place.
Wow.
And it's going to give me more money than the difference in the house.
Wow. I would rent it. Wow.
Yeah,
I would rent that.
So I'll rent it. And then guess what I'm going to do next?
What?
I'm going to borrow money against it.
Okay. I looked at my house. I could rent it out for like $3,200 if I rented out my house.
Yeah, I mean, I think you get more than that.
At my house?
Yeah, you probably get $4,000.
I know when I was looking at
Look, have you seen Omri's condo apartment he just rented? The townhouse he just rented?
How much is he paying for that?
$3,500.
Is he paying that
a month?
Oh, mine's bigger than him. Oh, wow.
So if he can if he's paying $3,500, you could easily get $4,000 for your house.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm shocked at the prices of rents on in Bucks County. The rents on a decent house in a decent place, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing to me. So it might not be a bad idea. All right. I want to give out the phone number because nobody's calling us because everybody's down the shore. 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. Maybe we should give something away. for somebody to call. Should I give out an actual physical copy of my book?
So I think, yeah. I think the physical copies are better.
All right, let's do a physical copy of my book, signed. I'll even sign it. How's
there
that?
You go.
All right, so you can get a physical copy of my book, Money Hacks, if you call in with, I don't know, something interesting to talk about. 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and we will send you a physical copy of the book. Well, if you just talk to us, because, we're here. We didn't go away Labor Day weekend. We hung out here for you, and you're not even paying attention to us. Right?
All right.
Doesn't that make you angry, Deb?
No, I'm going to the beach on Monday.
All right. That's right. You promised me you're going to go to the beach.
I'm going Monday.
All right. 855-939-1137. We're going to go to commercial, and we come back. We'll take your calls. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that there are so many different ways to prepare for retirement, and annuities are not the answer? Come learn this Thursday by taking a free class on Investor Schooling. Come to Investor Schooling, and you will learn so many different ways that you can make more money in retirement than you actually expected to. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday. That's investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. We'll see you there. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that you can buy real estate with absolutely no money out of your pocket? That's right. If you've listened to our show or if you've read my book, Money Hacks, I talk about how to buy real estate with absolutely no money out of your pocket. You should come this Thursday night to a complimentary class at Investor Schooling and learn more. Learn how to buy properties with no money. Learn how to make money at closings and learn how to make a monthly income. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary class this Thursday. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that you can leverage the stock market with a little bit of money to make a lot of money? That's right. We have something that we teach called stock options, and you can make a lot of money with a little bit of money using stock options. Yep, you got to learn how to do it. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn how to do it. Take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I'm going to teach you that and more. Investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. We'll see you there. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Listen, you need to take a complimentary class this Thursday. You need to learn how to invest in real estate. You need to learn how to invest in the stock market. You need to learn how to invest in stock options. And you need to learn how to make more money than you've ever made before. Why aren't you here? Come to investorschooling.com. Take a complimentary class this Thursday and learn. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary class this Thursday. We'll see you there.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
Thanks, Riff. All right. Welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm here with Dr. Deb, and we're just talking the breeze, right? We're just,
Yeah, I was just thinking that, shooting the
breeze, right?
Shooting the breeze, yeah.
Yeah, gotta be careful what you were about to say.
No,
you can't say that word.
I can't say that word, but
you can't say that word. They get mad when they say that word.
I was thinking of another word.
We're shooting
right?
So
because you said it first, and then I'm like, yeah.
I know. I almost said it right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, hey, we got Jake. All right, let's talk to Jake from Jersey. What's up, Jake from Jersey?
He just disconnected.
He already disconnected.
Seriously?
Oh man!
Come on.
Oh, this is how much people love us. They don't even talk to us.
So I think the next holiday weekend, maybe we should take off.
I know. I think the next holiday weekend we're going to take off.
Yeah, because if nobody wants to talk to us anyway,
nobody wants to talk to us. I could have looked at houses today. I had to squeeze in this radio show, so I couldn't look at houses today.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go look at some houses today, actually, after that.
I was thinking about going, so Philly's doing this event where there's some Asian event where they have all Asian food. So I love food, so that's why I always had pictures of food when I was away. But
right.
they're doing this big Asian festival or something this weekend. I was thinking about going.
Where's the Asian festival?
I don't know. It's somewhere on my phone. It was on Facebook.
Philadelphia?
Yeah, somewhere in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to eat. I want to eat Asian food from one of the dead cats that we eat in the garbage in Philadelphia a month ago.
What makes you think that you haven't had cat already?
Oh no, it's the cat. It's the kind of cat that
it's
I'm
the kind
talking
of cat.
About, yeah.
I have 2 cats at home. If you're interested, we can always slice them up.
Oh boy, I think we better go to a phone call. What's up, Roscoe? What's up, Roscoe? Roscoe,
hey.
What's happening?
Hey, good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
It's a little fuzzy here.
Are we fuzzy or are you fuzzy?
You're okay now.
All right, good. So
yeah.
Talk to me about something interesting so I can give you a book.
Oh, I got your book. I thought it was very good.
You already got the book. Well, thank you.
So, yeah. Yeah, I got it on Kindle. But
cool.
I wanted to say something about what you brought up about silver.
Yeah.
I've recently got interested in it, and I found an interesting fact. I'm getting an echo here, but that's okay. Here's the thing. You know all these data centers in they're building all over the country, like Meta, Facebook.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Well, they're all compelled to put in solar farms.
Okay.
And those solar farms use silver as the main leads for all their solar panels.
Interesting.
Because silver is the most conductive metal of all.
Actually, gold is
more conductive than gold.
No, I don't think.
No,
I think
it's
gold
more
is.
conductive
okay,
than gold.
But either way, that's fine.
That's what I thought, but I found out silver is.
Okay.
But I wanted to say, with these solar farms, like in Vineland, they're going to be building a 350 megawatt farm. Facebook's going to be building over a gigawatt. They want to go to 10 gigawatts.
Sure.
And that's going to drive silver through the roof. So
it might.
I wanted to let you know, since you like stocks and stuff, I think Hecla Mining is ready to really break out.
That's
Symbol's
awesome, man.
HL.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of cool things going on. Okay.
Right. Hecla is the leading provider in the U.S. of silver.
So
they're the largest provider of silver. And it's only $8 a share right now.
So it's Heckler Mining. Let me tell you what I think of it. Hold on, Heckler, is that right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So I can't find it. It doesn't come up. So am I spelling it wrong?
Symbol HL.
What is it?
L symbol.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, bad line. HL.
He's just breaking up.
Yeah, I can't see.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Roscoe.
Yeah.
You're just breaking up too much. I can't hear you.
Okay. HL is a symbol. Sorry
HL?
about that.
Okay, let me
you got
see
a
if that
bad
works.
line. Yeah.
All right, Heckia, not okay. Okay, now I don't understand. Okay, all right. Let me take a look at the stock. Let me tell you what I think. So it hit a 52-week high the other day, which to me makes it unpredictable. It's got a nice. It's got a dividend, small dividend. The PE is way too high for me. It's 53, but that's okay. It's not terrible. And the volume is hot, so this might be a good stock. You might have picked something that does have legs. I would definitely say that you're not making a mistake with this. So yeah, I mean, if you believe in it, go for it. And obviously, if silver's going up, this is going to go up along with it. So I would say, yeah, sure. I mean, if this thing go ahead.
Can I tell you one fact about it?
Sure.
Well, it's the largest silver producer in United States, but the thing is, their costs are down because not only silver, gold is a byproduct of their mines in Nevada, and they just upped their projections of the byproduct of gold, and that drives their costs way down, especially with gold taking off. So I don't know. You brought up silver, and it piqued my.
No, I'm glad you did. And actually, this stock that you brought, I would agree. My only concern is that it's a 52-week high already, which means that you might have a little bit of resistance now, but that's okay. I look at this and I see if it hits 5 again for some strange reason, and it did. It was at 5 in July, so that's not that long ago. If it hits 5 or 6 in July again, that might be a really good play. It might even be a really good call play for a stock option if you wanted to play it. So yeah, why not? Sure.
I agree.
Well, good. I'm glad you called. Thank you so much.
5,
and it did hit, the all-time high was 9, and it hit that in 2022 or 2021. All-time high was high, so it was 9. So again, you might have something here. Very good. Well, good luck with it.
I disconnect. All
right. Well, let's get Pat. What's going on, Pat? Pat, are you there?
Nancy's on hold.
Nancy.
Yeah, because Pat just hung up. So
okay, let's get Nancy. What's up, Nancy?
Yeah, Nancy. Let me go there.
Let's do it, Nancy. What's happening, Nancy? Oh no, everybody's like. I think the
They're
phone
dropping
lines
like
are
flies.
But I hesitated to call because I figured I'd get harassed about coming on Thursday.
You didn't come on Thursday? Were you supposed to be here?
No,
Did you sign up?
I figured no. But I figured you'll be harassing me about coming this Thursday, and I can't. So that's why I didn't call earlier.
Well, that's fine. Then I won't harass you for coming on Thursday. You know why? Because if you don't want to learn how to become rich, it's not up to me.
Well, not this coming Thursday. I don't anyway. But I do have a question as far as the covered calls business.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I have not used a computer in like 15 years. Like if I were,
did you know that they're color now? Did you know that computers are color now?
There's colors. Yes. I've heard that. I haven't looked, but and I hear they have windows too.
Yeah, right. Anyway. Yeah, you can look at them.
Yeah. Well, that might be my problem because that might be all I know how to do on it. I don't know. Like, can you do any of this stuff on an iPad or or your phone, or you really need a computer? And if you do need a computer, do you need? I like I said, I'm really just haven't had any reason to be on one, so I don't know whether I'd have a big learning curve there.
Well, if you're savvy on an iPad, it's okay. I would recommend a computer. It could be a laptop. It could even be a Chromebook, just because sometimes it's easier to see things on the the way it's made for a PC than it is made for an iPad. I mean, if you're proficient with an iPad, you're going to be fine. You'll be fine. Matter of fact, we had one.
I don't know if I'd say proficient, but I mean, I use one.
Okay, that's fine. So I mean, that's fine. You would be fine. You'd be able to, first of all, you'd be able to watch the classes on your iPad. You'll also be able to trade on your iPad. I might recommend like a small laptop just so you can see the screens we're seeing, because the screens are slightly different. Like when we give lessons, we give the lessons on the Charles Schwab app because it's it's just the one we use, and the screens are different on the iPad than it is on the laptop. But you could buy a Chromebook for $200, and it's all you need.
Okay. And another thing was like keeping track of all this, like trading and all that business for tax purposes. Is there like a method to do that if you're not the most organized person in the world, or how do you make sure you're not?
So the best part about that is
forgetting
the company,
things or losing things, or
the broker that you're trading with, like Charles Schwab, will give you a statement at the end of the year that has everything you need to pay your enormous tax bill because you've made so much money.
I see. Okay. So I wouldn't have to necessarily remember when I traded this, or
no. You just
would be showing on the broker's account.
You just print the end of the year statement. You give it to your tax professional, and they'll take care of that for you.
Okay.
You should come.
Okay.
You'll learn how to do it.
Yes, I would like to come, but can't yet.
I know. You're way too busy. I get it. It's okay. What'd you do last week? Watch
Thursday.
TV?
No, I went somewhere.
Have I harassed her enough?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So do me a favor, Nancy. We don't have my book, right?
I actually did get it a long time ago, and I gave it to somebody. I thought. Yeah.
Would you like it? Would you like another copy? You could say no. You want to insult me? No. You could say no. You want to insult me?
Yeah, I would like it.
All right, I tell you what, Sean,
yes.
take her information. We're going to put you on hold, and Sean's going to take your information, and I'm going to go to Harry. What's going on, Harry?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on?
Oh, okay, because we had a bad connection. I just wanted to say the picture I put up from you last Thursday night, I got over, I think, 80 hits on it already on Facebook. So I just wanted to say it was a fun time on Thursday. You can call me Bill if you'd like. But,
now I know who you are. Yeah. Did you enjoy the class?
Very much so. Like I said, you have a real integrity to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I found that very much enjoyable.
Very cool.
I was listening to you coming down 95, and I go, what the heck? If I'm going to be jumping into this, might as well put my money where my mouth
Absolutely.
is and give you a call, say hi, and say thank you, and we'll see you next Monday. I already have one of my friends who wants to join up already. I gave him the copy of your book. So I just want to say thank you very much.
Very good. We gave you a copy.
We'll see
That's
you
right.
Monday a week.
Yeah, so Harry attended a free class on Thursday. He showed up for the first time. He had a great time. And I'm so glad you called, man. I appreciate you.
No problem. And I'll bring my book back for you to sign it for me.
Absolutely. Definitely. Bring it in, and I'll sign it for you. Sounds great.
All right. Just wanted to say have a great weekend. Thank you so
man.
much.
We'll see you soon. Awesome. Very cool. Isn't that cool?
Goodbye.
Remember
That's
Harry?
cool. I do remember.
Harry was
yeah.
hysterical. The first he walks in, he goes, my name's Harry, but everybody calls me Bill.
Yeah, I
and
remember
I'm like,
that.
what?
Yeah.
And it was just the funniest thing.
No, I remember.
And they call him Harry. They call him Bill because his father was Harry. Was that right? I think it's.
Maybe he's a junior. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. And not to confuse people, they called him Bill. So that was kind of a funny thing. And he was talking about the picture of him and the Sultan.
Yeah.
So we always take a picture. You always get, if you come to investor schooling for the first time, you get a picture with the stock option Sultan, and that's a fun picture.
Yeah.
And it's always fun because the stock option Sultan is a goofy guy.
Yeah. And I always send them out at the end of the night so everybody can get them and post them to wherever it is they want. So it's always fun to look at that.
By the way, Harry, did you tag me in the picture? You should have tagged me in the picture. I would have put it on my Facebook page. So when you go back home, tag me in the picture.
Yeah, tag them. Yeah.
All right, Deb. What do you think? What else is going on? What exciting stuff is going on?
I found an HVAC for my property in Delaware.
No, I can't believe it.
So excited. So excited about that.
So if you guys don't know about this was a property that Debbie completely gutted the inside.
It wasn't totally planned gut, though.
Right, and that's exactly right. It wasn't planned to be gut.
It wasn't a planned gut.
The demo guy made a mistake and did more than he was supposed to do. And Debbie got very upset. As a matter of fact, it happened live on the radio.
It happened live on the radio because the first hour I was in good spirits, and the second hour I was. Oh no, maybe it was the first hour I was real upset, and the second hour whatever. But so the guy, it was there was an oil. So let me start over. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible with that. I bought a property out in Delaware. It was actually from a wholesaler. And I bought it for around $90,000, and when it's finished, it should be worth about $212,000, $215,000, something like that. And I planned on it was an old house, like it hadn't been updated since the 80s, if not more than that. It turns out it had old knob and tube wiring, so all the electric had to come out. There was it had plaster on the walls. It was like a really old house. Anyway, so there was these beautiful radiators though, and they were in really good shape.
Yeah, right.
And there was a oil heater there, so I was planning on replacing the oil heater with a gas heater because the gas was already there to the house and it already was going to the kitchen. So I planned on replacing it and using the water circular heater for the radiators because it was already there in place in good shape. Everything was looking good. And the demo guy ripped everything out and broke everything in the process. So that happened live on the air, and it was very distressing for me, very upsetting for me, and kind of raised how much I had to spend on the place. So that kind of caused a little bit more of an issue because not only
it's funny. It's like in this business, things happen, right?
Yeah.
It's just life.
It is, it is what it is.
It's going to be a nicer place when it's done.
It'll be a nicer place, and it'll be it'll be more efficient. I understand that, but I've been having trouble getting an HVAC guy out there because the prices I were getting were just ridiculous, and nobody is licensed to work in the city of Wilmington. So that was the biggest issue I was having.
Yeah, that was tough too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was getting these outrageous prices that were just unrealistic to reality, and I reached out to a colleague of both of ours, and he recommended somebody, and the guy was away on vacation. I finally met up with him on Monday, and he gave me some pricing that for a water heat pump, and it's going to be like a full HVAC system with all the ductwork in all the rooms upstairs.
Wow.
It's and the price was like a real price. So I gave him the deposit, and he's going to be starting on that.
That's fabulous.
So I'm super excited about that because then it'll get things moving again.
Get things moving,
things moving again. And then I'm still waiting for a price point on the plumbing because he could also do plumbing. So his plumbing came back a little bit high. So I asked for a detailed list of what the plumber was looking to replace because there's like there was a lot of cast iron stuff.
Right,
all that has to get replaced. So I don't know if he was fixing it, replacing it, because the quote wasn't really detailed. So I'm waiting to get that. So hopefully I can get that going.
I can't wait till that one's finished.
Yeah,
but you always have to have a problem.
Yeah, apparently that's that. I attract difficult people, Larry. And I attract
what? What are you trying to say?
I attract difficult people, and apparently I attract difficult projects. So I don't know. It's God saying I can do it. That's what He's saying, that He wouldn't give it to me unless I could handle it, right?
Well, I say you can do it all the time, but if you're listening to God, that's better. All right,
I'll listen to God.
Let's go to Ann. What's going on, Ann?
Hi, frequent listener.
Yeah.
So I learned a little bit, not a whole lot. I'm interested in buying a condo.
Cool.
But don't actually know the pros and cons. It's in Philadelphia.
Ann, are you?
Well, that's the first problem. Is it's in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Ann, are you the Ann that comes out with us every now and then to the ladies' luncheon?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I recognize your voice. That's why
Very nice.
I recognize your voice. Yeah. Well, we're
Yes,
excited.
I am.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to have you calling in. So great. So I'm with Larry. If you can avoid Philly, I would.
Well, wait, you want to live there?
I heard that last week.
Wait, do you want to live in Philly? Or are you going to live in this condo, or are you going to buy this condo as a rental?
As a rental.
Okay, so I want you to, right now, I want you to go over to the nearest wall.
Stop.
And I want you to bang your head against the wall 3 times. And if that doesn't hurt, you'll definitely feel more pain in Philadelphia. No, look, I'm not a fan of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't do it. Debbie likes Philadelphia. She knows how to do it. I mean, I know how to do it too. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to work that hard to do all the things that they want you to do. But that doesn't mean you can't do it.
I
Just
have
make
a
sure
couple.
you do it right.
I have a few properties out in Philly,
And you have some condos.
And I do. I actually have a condo in Philly also. So I have 2 row homes and a condo in Philly, and I'm okay with it. Like I'm not against Philly, but if it falls in my lap, then I'm open to it. Like truly, I'm like that last property fell in my lap. I'm open to it, and the other ones I got through tax deed auction. So I'm okay with Philly, but if I don't have to go to Philly, then I won't. But I mean, I'm not going to get rid of my properties that I have there, because I'll just go ahead and keep renting them out and make money on them. So I'm okay with it. So I guess, Ann, what's your question? Like, what is it that you're trying to do?
Well, I know that the condo fees are $600 a month now,
Ooh,
and I know that's
gonna be tough.
Okay, I know they do repairs,
Mm-hmm.
and they add that to special assessments.
There could be a special assessment.
Are there?
But how much are you paying for this condo?
$200.
And then what do you think you can rent it for?
$2,000.
So here's the problem, right? So you're going by the 1% rule, which is great, except you forgot the condo fees. So the condo fees, $600 condo fees, adds $60,000 to the price if you want to use the 1% rule. So if you're not getting at least $2,600 a month rent for it, you're probably going to lose money, and you're probably going to lose about $550 to $600 a month rent on that place because of the condo fees. That's where you're in trouble.
Okay, that's what I was figuring, because I was looking at their expenditures, and it seems like they spend more than they take in.
Yeah, well, that is a problem, especially with some condos. With condo fees like that, it's going to be a problem. Did you already go to contract on it, or are you just looking at it?
No, I'm looking at it now. I just got it yesterday.
Okay. All right. So
I didn't purchase it yet.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look. If you're going to lose money on it, is what I'm going to say. Every month it's going to cost you more than what you're bringing in. So I mean, if you're doing that for a reason, that's fine. But I'm assuming that's not something you want to do.
Okay. I appreciate the advice.
You got it. That's awesome. And when are you does she show up in class?
No, she comes. I haven't had a luncheon or dinner in a little while, just because it was starting to kind of peter out. So I figure I wait a few.
Is Ann a student?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right, I mean, you're welcome to come back, and you're welcome to come back to a Thursday class if you haven't been here in a while. We'll invite you back for a second one if you want to learn more. Feel free to. We'd love to have you, especially if you're a friend of Debbie's. Because any friend of a friend of Debbie's might be a friend of mine. Apparently,
we have delicious lunches.
I know the lunches are great. Yeah.
So it's interesting because the condo I have in Philly, I actually bought it on tax deed auction, and it cost me about $20,000 to fix. So all in, it cost me about $100,000.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and then I still have a high condo fee. I think my condo fee is probably like $500 or $600 also,
Yeah.
but I rent it for like $2,200, $2,300.
Yeah,
a
there
month.
you go. Now you're making money.
Yeah, I'm making money
well.
on it. Yeah, but if I had to buy it flat out, I wouldn't be making any money on it. So.
Hey, Ann, do you already have a copy of my book?
No, I don't.
Would you like one?
Sure.
All right, cool. So Sean's going to stand in line with you. He's going to get your address, and we're going to send you one.
Okay, great. I appreciate it.
Excellent.
Appreciate
Thanks,
both
Ann.
of you.
I appreciate the call, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in class again.
Good to hear from you, Ann. It's good to hear from you.
All right, where are we going now?
I don't know. I was talking about the HVAC. Oh, so I don't know. I was thinking about going. Omri offered to come with me. I've been looking at Arkansas. Do you remember,
Arkansas?
Yeah. Remember, I don't know, 4 months ago or something? It was.
What happened to this guy that was hot for you in Vegas?
I haven't reached out to him. He was away all of August.
Okay.
I think it was all of. When were we there? We were there in July, right?
I think
he
so.
was gone all of July because he was
Right.
out of the country. So then I have not.
So
reached,
Debbie has some really, 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 really rich guy with a lot of land in Vegas.
Yeah.
That
No, Utah. He had like
Utah. Okay.
He had 500 acres in
right,
Utah.
That
Yeah.
Debbie
Had
reached out to him, wanted to buy his property.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know about buying my property, but
Yeah, come over. We'll go dancing.
Maybe I could
take
buy
you to
you,
dinner. Yeah.
So kind of thing. So
Yeah, he sent me pictures. He told me how rich he was. It was just, and I kept reminding him, I'm married. I know you keep telling me. I'm like, just throwing it out there that I'm married.
Right.
So, I just want to be clear.
So
I'm married.
you know what the guy kept doing, right? He just kept throwing another $1,000 in the pile of how much it's going to cost him.
All right, stop it. Stop.
So make sure you tell him a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So no, but I haven't reached out to him since he got back in the country, and he got back in the country in August. So I haven't reached out to him. I guess I should reach out to him. I don't know. It'd be nice to kind of sit and chit chat with him, but out of say we have 10 texts, 9 of them are kind of like not in the right direction. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just I don't know. I haven't reached back out to him, but I guess I should. It can't hurt, right? It can't hurt. But
you want to go to Arkansas, right? You said.
But yeah, so do you remember, I think it was earlier in the year, you and I both put together separate presentations about different areas that we were looking to invest in.
Yes.
Okay, and you were looking at Ruskin.
Correct.
And I was looking in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And I put a whole presentation together about why I think this one spot in Arkansas is a good place to go to.
Yeah.
And then Delaware happened, and then a couple other things happened, and I kind of got
life
derailed.
Happened.
Yeah, life happened. I got a little bit derailed. Anyway, there was 2 things in a row that happened that reminded me that I need to get back on Arkansas. One was it was a Thursday after class. I went home. It was a couple weeks ago. It was after class. I went home. I had some work to do. I opened up my computer, and I'm on a couple of wholesale lists. And one of the wholesalers, I told him I was looking in Arkansas, and there were 6 or 7 properties in Arkansas in the same area that I was looking at. And I'm like, okay, if this is not a sign, then I don't know what is, right?
Sure.
And then the next day, I'm driving around, and there is a license plate that says ARK.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, all right. And then it was interesting because I think
Sure it wasn't Kathy Woods?
What?
You sure it wasn't Kathy Woods' license plate? Never mind. You know who Kathy Wood is.
I don't know who Kathy Wood is.
I know.
And then it was interesting because I think it was either a day or two before or a day or two after, you actually had put a post out on Facebook, what is it that you're doing to move yourself forward, or some kind of post or something like that. It was just like, it was like 3 things in a row. I'm like, all right, I need to get back on this. So I reached back out to the wholesalers to try to set up some time to look at some of those properties. And the timing has just been a little off because now it's the beginning of the school year. And then I actually had planned to go, and then something came up and they never got back to me. So then we were going back and forth and whatever. And then I planned on going this week, and then something came up with my husband that I couldn't go. And then I would plan on going next week, and something came up with my girlfriend and I couldn't go. So I was talking to Omri, and Omri said that he'd be interested in going with me to go for 3 days just to go and check out the different areas. And the kicker was I think in like 2 weeks I'm going to. I don't know if I told you I'm going to North Carolina for a week with some friends, and the Monday is the tax deed auction in the same county that I'm looking at, and I'm like, so I'm debating whether or not to cancel my plans with my girlfriends or just fly out with them and then just leave to go to Arkansas for a day or two and then come back. I might just do that. So I need to get myself over to Arkansas, and so I want to go within the next 2 or 3 weeks to go for 3 or 4 days to check everything out. So.
And if Army's going to go with you, that's great, because I'm not going with you. I wouldn't want to go to Arkansas.
Why not?
Because there's nothing there but Bill Clinton.
Yeah, but you hang out with me for 3 days. Why would that be bad?
Omri's going with you.
Yeah, so Omri's he said he'd be willing to go with me. He said he couldn't do it next week because that's the first week of school for his kids, which I understand. And then, like I said, last week something came up, and then I have the week after that I can't because I promised my friend I would.
There you go. In, Sounds good.
So in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be heading down to Arkansas for 2 or 3 days.
Well, you'll have to let us know what happens with that.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Are you buying land there?
So I was looking to originally I was looking to look at properties there, but I knew when I looked at the tax deed list, I saw a lot of land for sale also.
Sure.
So since the auction is on Monday that I'm away with my friends, I could always, but if it does, like land is less likely to sell on tax deed auction, so I could always pick up the land afterwards at a cheaper rate. So
very cool.
A couple things I was thinking about. So
very cool.
So.
All right, let's go. Let's go be a land baron.
There's definitely some stuff going on here. Yeah, so.
I agree. I find it fascinating all the things that we do. It's funny, and we'll be sitting here, and sometimes we're like, oh, we're not doing enough to get rich, and we think about it, we really are. Things are happening, things are changing, our lives are getting better, right? And every once in a while we have the stressful day or a stressful moment in a month where we can't make our bills. We can always make our bills, but we just have to go borrow money to make our bills, right?
Yeah. And
it's stressful. But I'm going to tell you something else. The stress I have is very different stress than the average person who's not working on getting themselves rich.
Yeah, it's definitely a different type of stress. Yeah.
Yeah, I always make the joke, right? Rich people have different problems. Like, should I buy the Rolls Royce or the Lamborghini?
And if you can't see me, I'm rolling my eyes every time he says that. So, whatever. But no,
But it's the truth. It's it's a different kind of problem.
It's a different kind of problem.
And I like the problems I have much better than the problems that the average person who goes to work every day and doesn't do anything to better themselves and has to worry about their job and lives paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And when you change that, life changes. Very different conversations. Anyway, I want to thank all the listeners for listening. I want to thank Dr. Deb for being here. Of course, we miss Omri today. He was on vacation with his kids, which I think is awesome because he's got 2 young kids and he likes to spend time with them. I don't know. It's nice to know that's something that you can. I want to thank Sean for being our producer today, for substituting for Glenn today. I don't tell Glenn, but you did a better job, okay? No. Anyway, if anybody wants to go to Investor Schooling, go to
10 seconds.
Yeah, there you go. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and you can take a complimentary class. We're looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. Take care.
This program is paid for by investors.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
On the program are solely those